I'm gonna record this shit, actually. Okay. What? So we recording now. Exciting for us. Adventures in me playing with my bangs, because y'all know I don't ever wear a straight middle bang. And it's just giving me anxiety because of my forehead. So I'm sorry if I'm bothering you. I don't mean to. I come from a genuine place. So anyways, so today I got into... Oh, what up, Michaela? I'm excited. I'm excited that peoples are coming out today for this Ustream, you know, because I definitely tried to tell people via YouTube comments and things, but it's always hard to kind of know when I'm going to be available to really do a Ustream, just because, like, I have to be in the mood to, like, really be sitting here and just talking in fucking circles sometimes. But yeah, so anyways, what I was talking about was how basically, like, if you try to fight with me and then you tell me, oh, make a Ustream video about this, it's like, I don't really care that you, like, that you're trying to, like, bait me into making a Ustream video about you, but I'm gonna address you in a Ustream video because you wanted to be fucking addressed, like, very clearly, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna let you know. You know, if you come at me and word, if you want to be a part of the Woman of Color Witch group, word, just, you know, send me an email, marfmello@gmail, send me an email, and I'll try to get you into that group. So yeah. So thank you, Bizarre. Thank you. Y'all are so sweet to me. I appreciate this, really, because a bitch was low today. A bitch was low, but a bitch is rising. A bitch is rising. That's all that y'all need to know. But anyways, so, like, moving on. So I'm only addressing this person again because, like, they were trying to be extra about the fucking Ustream and stuff, and I appreciate you, Flatbush Queen. I appreciate you for saying that, but we do not go to bed with the same motherfucking shit. Oh, where Michaela Buck? I'm excited. Oh, Miss Raven, I'm happy that you're here. That's exciting. It's like a sleepover with, like, hella people. Yeah, no, I love side parts, son. Side parts are my shit. I think I'll care about this middle part when I straighten this hair. I think just with the curls, it can be a lot because I feel like it's weak. Like, I don't want it to get in my eyes because, like, yucky hair is hard as shit. Like, when you get a yucky hair in your eye, bitch, can't nothing good come from that. Can't nothing good come. But I'm trying it, you know what I mean? I'm trying it. So as I was saying, I'm not addressing this person for any other reason other than they wanted to be addressed. So I'm gonna address you because that's what you wanted, right? So let's do it. Basically, this person tried to come for me because I got some contacts and a blonde wig. And the fucked up part about this is, like, this has already happened before. I already have a bunch of videos where, like, people try to drag me for being black and not being black enough for them because I put on a fucking blonde wig. It's like, damn. It's like, are we coming for white people and, like, coming for them for wearing all these different fantasy colors? We're not. But the fact that I want to wear a wig like this, y'all are gonna come for me? That's fucked up. You know, like, that really fucking hurt my feelings. But, you know, it just reminds me of how much work there needs to be in terms of breaking down respectability. You feel me? What up, Dana? How are you? What up, Tazzy? What up, Elizabeth Kim? All right. It just bothers me sometimes, like, how other black people will sit up here and act like there is a right way and a wrong way to be black. You know, there isn't. There is not. I hate to tell you that. There is no right or wrong way. If you black, you fucking black, you fucking black. And that's it. You know, I can wear a blonde wig all day. That doesn't give me white privilege. It doesn't make me complicit in white supremacy. For me to sit up here with this blonde wig and to tell you that it's real and to tell you that, you know, this is the best hair and blonde long hair is the best hair, you know what I mean? So it's like I would never say any shit like that because that's, first of all, that's not even how the fuck I be feeling. And second, I definitely do not think that, like, me wearing a blonde wig has anything to do with my blackness. And that's what hurts me, you know? That's what really hurts me, is that my blackness is somehow less able to be seen because of this blonde wig. And it just like, it goes to show, and that goes into a deeper thing, you feel me? Because I'm not even like the lightest black person out here, you know. I definitely see a lot of people who are like more on the, to use a reference, Mariah Carey type of shit, where they're more white passing and they're still black, you know. My mother is the same way. My mother has white privilege, or rather white passing privilege, excuse me, and is a white passing POC, but she's still black, you feel me? So it goes as deep as that, you know. Someone can be white and, or rather someone can look white and not be white, have privilege, true, but that does not like take away their whiteness. So that's what really just kills me about the whole situation, because I don't want to live that life that my mom was living, you feel me? I don't want to like have to, you know, go through like having to fucking defend myself, even though that's part of my life. It has been part of my life. But like moving forward, I'm trying to figure out more eloquent ways, and I guess like more inclusive ways of like letting people know, nah, you know, like don't be coming at me with that shit. Because there is respectability, blah, 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 blah. There are respectability politics at play here, and I tried to touch on that a while ago, and again, I kind of got into a circular conversation, but the main point was, no matter what the fuck you're doing at any fucking time does not take away or fucking assert your blackness, you feel me? No matter what color hair I have, I'm still black, you know? And it kills me when someone who's black comes at me and is like, oh, and by the way, I'm black. That doesn't change anything. You being a part of the same oppressed group as me does not mean what you say to me about me, or people like me, or people like yourself that you assume to be like me, fucking true. And that's the other part that kills me, you know what I mean? Just like when white people come at me saying, oh, white people aren't like that, I'm sitting here like, okay, but how you gonna tell me my experience, bitch? How you gonna tell me, oh, white people ain't like that, when clearly I ain't got not one motherfucking story for you about how all white people ain't like that? That's not my fucking experience, you feel me? And white people try to play like, because I'm telling you about my experience, I'm telling you that I hate white people. When in reality, I hate whiteness. I hate the privilege that makes white people so entitled to do half the fucking fuck shit that they be doing. Because if white people didn't have this fucking privilege, I bet you we would see less of shit like this. You feel me? I bet you we would see less of shit like this. And it goes in all different areas of life, and that's what kills me too about white people. White people get mad when we talk about our experiences, when we talk about statistics, but it's true. You know, the statistics back up the experiences, but they don't never want to corroborate them. They don't ever want to bring to light what people of color are saying and what white scholars and white people are finding when they do fucking tests. You know what I mean? Because whenever we find out about like leaked studies and shit like that, it always like sides on the side of the oppressed, on the side of people of color. But yet we don't get that fucking that moment where we like link the two together, where we like have people of color speaking and we're like actually applying like all of this fucking backup and all these statistics, you know what I mean? And it's not, and again, that's not the reason why white supremacy prevails. I'm not gonna at all say that it's on the shoulders of people of color, you know, alone to come up with solutions. That's crazy. You know, excuse me for using ableist language, but that's not fucking like real. That's not a real thing you can say. White supremacy works because people are complicit and people allow and people enforce. And the fucked up part about it is the people that are complicit and the people that are enforced are not always white. They are often people of color who have drank that fucking Crystal Light. Like I told y'all, they don't be drinking that Kool-Aid. They drink Kool-Aid. If they do drink it, they drink Kool-Aid. But I'm telling you, it be on some Crystal Light. And the thing is, you know, I don't want to sit here and be always trying to take the task my POC, but it's real. You feel me? It's real out here sometimes. Like I said, there was a person on my fucking YouTube who tried to tell me, because of contact lenses that come out every fucking night, or come out whenever the fuck I take them out, a wig that comes off whenever the fuck I take it off, and usually, and I don't sleep in these joints, you feel me? This shit was $32, girl. If I sleep in this motherfucker, it'll be a coonskin cat by the morning, okay? I don't sleep in them, okay? I don't tell myself this is my real hair. When I go out, I don't fucking try and persuade people that this is my real hair. I don't try to have lengthy conversations about it, because my hair is just an accessory. It's literally like wearing a hair hat, as I've tried to explain multiple times. When I don't want to get my fucking natural hair together, when I don't want to be questioned about my gender, I decide to just put on this fucking wig and use my cis privilege. Use my privilege of passability and be a woman in these fucking streets out here. That's really what these wigs are. And I came to that conclusion a while ago, but like the more that I'm exploring like being a bigender person and exploring myself, I realize that like the wigs serve a purpose for me that is not only safety, but it's also like it's something that I enjoy. You know, I enjoy wigs, but I also realize like what I use them for and how I use them and what systems I'm using in order to like, you know, pass and like get through fucking life. I get that like that can look like a contradiction in the face of some people, because this wig would be a signifier for whiteness if, however, it wasn't on my fucking head. I could understand you seeing a white woman with this hair on and being like, that's a white woman with some white woman ass hair. But for you to say that I have white woman hair when this is clearly not my hair, when I make videos saying this is a wig, when I take the wig off, when I expose to you my real hair, when I make videos in my real hair, I could understand if like I was 100% like wearing these wigs and like telling you guys, you know, white supremacy is awesome, white is right, fuck yeah, you know, I have a white partner because fuck black men's dicks. I would never say no shit like that, because that's not what it is for me. And this person also brought up the fact that like I have a white partner, and they brought up the fact that like because I suck a white dick, I can't talk about white supremacy, which is like the most fucked up thing, because that's how I'm able to suck a white dick. Honestly, I'm able to suck a white dick because I realize that white supremacy is real. And I've been able to unpack the fucking internalized white supremacy that makes me want to be attracted to white bodies, and like fucking deconstructing that shit in myself. Deconstructing attraction for what it is. You feel me? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy sometimes, like the shit that you have to do out here to survive. So if I see another person out here wearing a wig telling people it's their real hair, I'm not going to judge them, because I don't know what the fuck they got going on in their fucking life. Like, true story. Like, I've learned so much shit about like problematic things I've done. I remember I was talking shit about this person who was smelling bad at my work, and like in retrospect, like I remember like a couple years before, like my mom was on hard times and our water got cut off, so we couldn't take a shower every day. It was literally like my mom would steal mad water from like my grandparents' house using like water bottles, and then we'll come home and pour it into like a big ass pot so we could take a bath or a wash up. But usually it was just a wash up because my mom didn't have enough water for everybody to take their own bath. So we would be taking bird baths and shit. So some days I know I was not smelling fucking right because I just couldn't like get it all together with my fucking bird bath, you feel me? And I remember people trying to clown on me because I would smell like cigarette smoke, because my mom smoked a lot of cigarettes. I remember like I would smell like oil because like my mom had like an oil burning fucking thing in the house, because our electricity got cut off too in the downstairs. So she had to run a cable, and she had this like 1920s heater and shit like in her fucking house. And Game Leaf is okay. I don't mind explaining myself. I don't mind talking. Like, this is what I do. You know, marshmallow.com, that's me. That's me. It's me.com. I talk about me. But I don't mind giving people clarification because I think that knowledge is fucking power. However, Amina Patrice, you know what? This texture of hair is most commonly not found on black women, and I'm not gonna like play myself and act like, you know, this hair isn't a signifier for whiteness. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna act like this hair isn't a signifier for whiteness, because I think as much as we've seen this hair on different like POC celebrities and shit like that, you know, it's definitely a texture and a color that is definitely, you know, predominantly seen on white women. So I definitely am not going to say that I don't see what they mean by saying that I'm wearing a white woman's hair. But, you know, listen. Oh, girl. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, when you can be attracted to all types of people. Exactly, SSH. The statistics are in, like, white people commit crimes just as much as people of color commit crimes. However, the jail times are staggeringly different, and and not only that, not only are the sentences lighter, but the actual jail time served, you know? So, I mean, that's the fucked up part about it. But in terms of people of color being able to express themselves through hair and shit, it's just as fucked up to me. Because even like Lolitas, even like cosplaying people of color, they get it the worst. You know, I'm over here, people think I'm cosplaying as a white woman, that's why they're mad. But let a person of color cosplay as somebody in a more privileged group, or rather take aspects of another culture, not really another culture, I don't know. I would say, like, I mean, I think, like, I'm not really super versed on, like, I'm not super versed on Lolita. I don't know if, I'm not sure, like, if that's, like, very, like, culturally exclusive, but I know that whenever black women are, like, anytime, like, doing cosplay, they're always getting shit for it. I'm gonna sit against the wall, because I'm gonna sit against the fucking wall. That's what I'm about to do. I'm sorry, bitch. Like, my back, bitch. My back. Okay. Oh. Oh. Let me see. Let me see. I know that somebody, I mean, look, as, like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like, because when I seen this wig on the white woman that reviewed it, it didn't look like hair that I've ever seen on a person of color. Not to say that people of color don't have, like, an array of different hairstyles. I'm just saying that this hair is 9 times out of 10 exclusively seen as a white hairstyle. And I'm not saying that that's right. I'm saying that that's what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to live outside. I'm not going to, like, pretend that we can escape, like, or we live in a vacuum or something. I'm going to be real with you. Like, this does not look like POC hair, even though, you know, what the fuck is POC hair? You know what I mean? I do agree with you, but I'm not going to act like, you know, this wouldn't be seen as or signified as a white person's hairstyle or someone who is white. Granted, you know, as a light-skinned person, people do think I'm, like, racially ambiguous, despite the fact that I say I'm black, despite the fact that I'm happy being black and I'm cool being black. But, yeah, there's Tumblrs dedicated to POC cosplaying and Lolita, but that still doesn't, like, stop the fact that, like, a lot of times I see fucked up shit. Like, I've seen, like, hella posts being like, dark-skinned Lolita shouldn't wear these colors and da-da-da, and I'm just like, what the fuck? How are you gonna say that? How are you gonna fucking say that? And somebody in the chat just said some shit, and I hope that they're not a light-skinned person, but I fucking know that they are. And I just want to tell you right now, as a light-skinned person, I'm not here for your light-skinned tears. Like, I love all y'all people out here that love me, but if you're a light-skinned person, I don't want to hear about your fucking struggles. I don't care. And I don't mean it in a fucked up way. I mean it in a way that, like, I'm not here to, like, hold your fucking light-skinned ass hand and act like, you know, you don't have privileges, because you fucking do. Just like I don't want to hear white people saying it's not my fault I was white, I'm born white. I don't want to hear light-skinned people telling me it's not their fault that they're mixed or that they're light-skinned, because that's fucking, that's whack to me. That's no bearing in anything. Yeah, I know that there's a subgroup. I've heard about this, the Japanese people that try to act black. I've definitely seen that, and I thought that was weird as fuck, and I thought that was hella fucking racist. That they do blackface over there, and that it's hella fucking weird, you know. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that because Japanese people have appropriated black culture, I'm not gonna sit here and, like, go in on them, like, even though they're fucked up, and, like, I've gone in on them before about this. Like, I've had conversations with, like, friends, like, in real life, and discussed the video we saw of that shit, because it was, like, really weird. Like, they were, like, fetishizing, like, Lil' Kim and, like, 50 Cent. It was, like, so weird. Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I definitely, I do agree. White women, no, like white women don't ever get shit for like in having their lips injected or asses injected and shit, and that's that's its own form of like fetishization. But also this like exoticism of like the white girl with a booty or the white girl with some lips, you know what I mean? It's all this shit. Or like the white girl with that tan, you know what I mean? So she don't really look too white, you know what I mean? She looks something else, ridiculous. But that has a lot to do, again, that has a lot to do with like light skin privilege, you know what I mean? That racial ambiguity. But yeah, no, I do agree with you. Eurocentric beauty standards and ideals are why dark skin doesn't look right in pastels, because like that's bullshit. You know what I mean? That's blatant bullshit. And that's the type of shit that I fucking don't like. Is like how much like there is so much hate against like dark skinned women that like light skinned women dead ass. Ciao. I'm sorry, I need to stop reading the chat. I'm trying to talk because I'll be reading and I'll be like, oh yes, I'm gonna talk about that. Fuck, I was just gonna talk about something. Oh yeah, the amount of othering that happens to dark skinned women, and then like the light skinned people want to fucking act like the same shit happens to them. And I remember is it called Black Lifestyle? I think it's called something else, honestly. But I could be wrong, but I seen like this store that was like dedicated to like black fashion. And it was all like tacky shit from like the 90s. It was like ridiculous shit. Like not even 90s, like early 2000s tacky shit. But as I was saying, there's so much like hate towards like dark skinned women like to do any fucking thing, to be anything, to like show anything, to fucking make a decision to be anything, that like I can't really take these light-skinned people out here. Like, I used to be one of them fucking light-skinned people, and to a degree, I'm still one of them fucking light-skinned people. Just because, you acknowledge your privilege don't mean that you stop having it. You know what I mean? And that's the shit I can't stand when, like, white people get too educated out here, when white people be thinking that they're abolitionists and shit because they fucking, they want to preach some shit, or they think that they're race traitors because they want to talk down about white supremacy and white privilege. And a lot of it is fluff, a lot of it is fluff. You got to practice what the fuck you preach. And that involves like calling motherfuckers out. You know what I mean? I realize that I'm a light-skinned person. So light-skinned people will often say to me, oh, dark-skinned people hate me. Dark-skinned people don't hate you, bitch. They hate the fact that you're a light-skinned person and you think that they fucking hate you because they're jealous of you, or they think that you think you're above them or some shit. It's not because dark-skinned women are lesser than you. It's because that's what light-skinned people are routinely told and routinely treated as. So when you are treated as better than someone else, then how the fuck you gonna look at them like them looking at you any old type of way isn't justified. Thank you, y'all are so sweet. Yes, Adora. Skin bleaching, I mean, look, I'm gonna be real. As a light-skinned person, who gives a fuck about my fucking stance on something that I don't have to do? Like, that is 100%, that, like skin bleaching, popularity, skin bleaching in general is 100% a symptom of colorism and shadism. It is something that I benefit from because I'm a light-skinned person. So I don't feel like I have the fucking right to be commenting on what people of color are doing in terms of to get lighter, other than saying light skin is nothing. Light skin means nothing. And to be honest about interracial relationships, because all these white people out here are so motherfucking pressed. And people of color too. There are people of color pressed too to talk about this shit. To talk about how interracial relationships are the way of the future. How we're all going to be beige. Or we're all going to be off brown. Like, bitch, no. You're still white. I'm still black. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? As if there had not been for millions of fucking years interracial relationships. Like there hasn't been fucking multi-ethnic people in the world. You know what I mean? It's ludicrous. It's fucking ludicrous, and it's insulting as fuck to say to people of color, especially people of color who are not fucking mixed, who are not light-skinned, who are not off-brown, that when everybody doesn't look like them anymore, that's when shit can get popping. That's when we can all fucking care. Yes, people do bleach their skin. People do bleach their skin to get light skin privilege, to achieve a look that is culturally or systemically told and ingrained in people of color, especially dark-skinned people of color, that light skin is better, that light skin it means more, that light skin is something worth something, you know what I mean? And it's like this, it's becoming this, it's not even becoming, it's always been this fetishization, this objectification, this sexualization of light-skinnedness, that is fucking scary to me. It's scary to me, it disgusts me, and it definitely makes me like take a look at people and say, wow, you're really fucked up. Because again, people, especially light-skinned people, will fucking say some dumb shit. They will say some dumb shit because they have been taught that they are mixed. Light-skinned people get taught that they're mixed. They get taught that they can see both sides of the shit. And I've already talked about this before. Light-skinned people be acting like that because they got a white daddy or a white mama, white grandma, white grandpa, somebody white in their fucking family, that they can somehow make fucking decisions based on this whiteness that's inside of them. Like the whiteness is inside of them. Like they're able to understand racism so much better because, oh, they got white in them. Oh, they got black in them. Or they got white in them and they got Latinx, Latina, Latino. They got all of this in them, but I'm white. I can see both sides, but you can't. But you fucking can't. But you fucking can't, you know? It's ludicrous, you know, it's fucking ludicrous. You know, just like my white grandma doesn't make my white passing POC mama white, but does give her white passing privilege, my white passing mama don't give me white privilege or give me whiteness or make me white. She does give me light skin privilege. You feel me? So that's how it goes. And if I have a child and if my partner is, you know, a white person, my child might have light skin privilege, mixed skin privilege, you know, or not even might. Like I'm not sure. I honestly don't know, because I've seen like light skinned people with white people before, and I've seen a dark skinned baby before, definitely. And that's really something that you can't control. But I do know that there are people who are light skinned, again, who go out of their way to have sex, and, you know, have children with people who are non-POC, for the privilege, for the exoticism that comes with having a mixed baby and all this shit, you know. And I've talked about it before, you know, when I was with my white partner walking down the street, just, you know, minding my own fucking business, you know, people will come up to us and be like, oh, y'all would have such pretty kids, da da da, and all this stuff. And it freaked me out that like there was just like exoticism already being placed on me, for like what I could create with this white person. Like me and this white person could create something that would be so interesting, so unique, and it just made me fucking want to throw up. And I do agree with you, Game Leaf, because no matter what, no matter how many light skin, off brown, whatever the fuck people are when they're mixed interracially or multiracially, that fucking is not going to stop these white people out here that still think that they're purebred or whatever in the fuck they're telling themselves these days, so they can still feel like, you know, everything is justified in this country. Yes, they do. They try to erase us all. They say shit, you know, and they even got, like, A$AP Rocky said it too. A$AP Rocky was like, I can't wait, you know, in a few years we all gonna be brown, da da da. That's why I love interracial relationships. It's like, no. If you love interracial relationships for the future of having light-skinned babies, fuck you, bitch. That's whack. That's whack as fuck. That's weird as fuck. That's creepy as fuck. And I think that that's like the fucking wildest shit I've ever fucking heard. You know what I mean? Because that's on par, again, with light-skinned people, or even people that are not light-skinned having babies with people with light skin or of another race that have light privilege or mixed privilege or what the fuck ever. Just so that they can have privileges with their babies, or so that they can have like a signifier of some sort of like racial ambiguity, which is, again, weird as fuck. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and cry little light-skinned tears and shit, because as much as I know that light-skinned people are still people of color and we still do face fucked up shit, we are also the fucking approved and fucking acceptable people of color. So we have to be fucking really honest with ourselves, you know? The shit that our stakes aren't as high. You know what I mean? Our stakes are not as high. And I think that can be a problem for a lot of people of color to really swallow. Because, like, I think that when you first learn about white supremacy and shit like that, you'd be so amped to like come and like snatch these fucking white dudes and these white women's and these white peoples out here and just get them together. But then you also have to remember that, you know, there's shit that you gotta unpack. You have to like also confront your inner oppressor, because again, you know, you might have some privilege, and if you do, it's important to confront that shit and just, you know, to not speak over people who are less privileged, but also not to bring that privilege into places where it's not fucking needed. No, and I agree. And you know what sucks too? It sucks that like because of like light skin privilege that there are dark skinned women who like try to like get like hella fucking angry like at people for like talking about it. Like in terms of like saying like, oh, I've never internalized white supremacy. Like I'm a proud dark skinned woman, or I'm a proud dark skinned woman. I don't feel fucked up about white supremacy. I love my skin color, and it's like, that's beautiful, that's amazing. No one wants you to feel shitty. No one wants you to feel shitty. White, like light-skinned people are not confronting their privilege to make dark-skinned people feel like shit. That is not the fucking, that shouldn't be what the fuck it is. You know, it should be more about them confronting, you know, the privileges that they have, and like how the fuck they can like use their privilege for positive things and use their privilege, you know, for things that like matter. And I think that, you know what, no matter what, you're not gonna be fucking perfect. You're not gonna be fucking perfect. You're definitely gonna fucking make mistakes. I think that's like part of it, is fucking up, getting called out, and then having people fucking let you know what the fuck you did. And that's just how the fuck it goes. Yeah, no, I think I'm just like fucking disgusted. It's just a whole situation. But yeah, somebody in the chat was coming out talking about, do you have an issue with dark skinned people? It's like, no. I don't have no problem with no dark skinned people. Why the fuck? Why the fuck? You know what I mean? What? No, I don't have no problem. Like, I'm not gonna ever say no shit like that. That's ignorant as fuck. That's like saying I have a problem with women. The fucking society we live in wants you to feel that way. They want you to feel that way. The society we live in wants you to be mad at black women, wants to be mad at women in general, but really mad at black women, wants you to be mad at people of color, wants you to be mad at people of color that you don't fucking think should be here or aren't cookie cutter white bread enough to be American. You know, this society wants you to do so much shit. This society wants you to be butt naked, but still, you know, respectful. Wants you to be quiet, but wants you to like sell yourself, wants you to give all of yourself. The system is fucked up. The system is not logical. It's not justified in anything. And like, you know, oh wait, hold on. ASAP is dating Chanel Iman? Man, she's beautiful. That makes me sad. It makes me sad to hear shit like that, honestly. Whatever. I don't know. It's just like, every time I hear a black man say some dumb shit about black women or about interracial dating or anything like that, it just makes my fucking skin crawl. Because, oh, and then also, child, let me catch my fucking life. Tell me why. Tell me why. I seen Big Sean's video Fire with Miley Cyrus. Bitch. Bitch, I was dead and gone. I just couldn't believe. That bitch looked like she couldn't even walk right. I was like, Miley, why are you doing this? Looking like Bambi and shit. Just looking hella lost. I was like, Miley, who brought you here? Like, every time I see Miley doing anything, I be thinking like her dad dropped her off in an SUV or some shit. It was like, go get him, Miles. You know, go get him. You know what I mean? And like, Big Sean. What the fuck was you thinking, Big Sean? I just don't get it, yo. I just don't get it right now. The world is freaking me out. Big Sean over here working with Miley, and then all these black rappers out here talking about Miley Cyrus and giving her the cosign. Shit made me want to throw the fuck up. I just could not even. I'm like, how could y'all? How could y'all? How could y'all give her fucking daps? What are you thinking? Freaks me the fuck out. Freaks me the fuck out whenever I see black men co-signing the devil. I'm just like, what is going on? What is happening? No, light skin privilege White skin privilege works within white supremacy, but it's a way of keeping people of color in check. By having light skin privilege, you keep light skinned people thinking that like they're better than other people of color, therefore like, you know, move like keeping us segregated and keeping us like, it's like that Willie Lynch shit, you know what I mean? It's like keeping light skinned people against brown skinned people is, you know, again, on par with like white people and people of color fighting in terms of classism. But I think also, someone was asking me a question too. I want to address this person. Someone asked me if they think that someone asked me if they think classism is a symptom of racism. And I definitely do agree with that, because I think, you know, the system was created by white people, for white people, you know. Any like that's my biggest thing with like anyone who thinks that we're free is like, how can like a white person tell a bunch of black people that they brought over here as, you know, as equipment, as chattel, that they're free, and then like persist with peonage, which was like the unlawful kidnapping and loan slavery, where they would tell people of color, you've done a crime or you owe me money because of some bogus reason. And because black people back then couldn't really stand up for themselves out like in the courts, or even outside the courts without the courts getting involved, because shit was so fucking, you know, ridiculous. Like it still fucking is, but like more so to a point where a person of color would be fucking foolish to even try and talk to somebody else about a white person, a feud with a white person. So, you know, white people were over here just snatching people of color up as they were being freed. And not to mention the white people that were bringing slaves over to the West before they could get the news of the freedom. So slavery was being moved as people were being freed. And people weren't even being freed. People were given ultimatums, because you could be free all the fuck you want. You still in a racist land, you feel me? So the story of the black person in America has been someone who is not wanted. Has been someone that was treated like, you know, like nothing, you know. But if you think about it, slavery was the first real fucking economy like that we had in this country. You know what I mean? Like slavery was really like, it was really like the groundwork for most of the fucking money today that exists. You know, the backs of people of color worked this fucking country. They worked. They built. They built so many things. People of color were brought over here and promised so many things, told so many fucking lies, and they built. And don't you fucking know. And the thing that fucks me up is like, people of color, when they was building shit, when they was making shit, they was over here probably thinking that they was creating something for the future generations of brown folks, of folks of color. But that's not the fucking case. You know? I think any system in which people can come here as equipment and then become free, but only after being 3/5 of a person in law, only after Jim Crow, only after peonage, only after the civil rights movement, only after like racial rights. It's just like the freedom is like, it's a joke. There's no freedom. There's no freedom. America is not free. It has not been free for a long time. You think you free because you can go to the fucking corner store and buy a fucking soda? Because you can sit on your couch and choose not to work and get fired, or go to work and make money. And a lot of people that I talk to that are trying to make money out here, they're not working because they fucking want to work. They're working because they have no fucking choice to. And that's the thing. We're getting to a point where people have no fucking choice but to fucking work, or else they feel like they're gonna die. So I think that we need to get to a place where people stop working so they can fucking live. You know what I mean? Because I don't fuck with this system. I think it's mad fucked up. I think there are so many people out here that get killed by this system in more ways than like physical. I think there are so many like artists, so many entrepreneurs, so many people that want to start businesses, so many people that want to like do fucking real shit out here, that want to fucking like really make their own, and they can't because they're somebody else's fucking peon. They're somebody else's fucking worker number, whatever, and they can't start their own business, or they can't do anything for their fucking selves because they're too busy fucking working or going to school to like get to a position that they're not getting to. You know, there's too many people out of work. There's too many people who are like going into schools or going into careers that like there is no future in them because the systems are just fucked up and changing. You know, and that's also what it is. You know, back in the day, like, you used to be able to go walk a little bit, ask somebody if they had any work for you to fucking do, and you could fucking do it. Back in the day, even like 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, you could get a fucking job. It was no shit. It was no shit to get a fucking job. You can get a fucking job anywhere. But No, see, black people don't try and be white, and white people don't try and be black. White people created what they think blackness is because they've been able to sample from black people. Black people came here again as cattle. So when we started creating our culture, when we started honing our sound, when we started getting our shit together, white people were stealing from us. White people been stealing. Why do you think all these other nations out here is having all these beefs with America? Because America been kicking the shit out of all them. America literally is this big fucking kid who walks around the fucking beach kicking other niggas' sandcastles and then tries to build a big ass sandcastle for himself. Totally not recognizing the fact that all the niggas he done kicked sandcastles of are back there just trying to fix their fucking sandcastle. Don't you think after someone stomps the fuck out your sandcastle, you gonna build that shit better with more security, tighter motherfucking force? You feel me? So it's one of those situations where you gotta look at America like, hold the fuck up. Why are we all in all this beef? We stay being in beef, and it's not about, again, it's not about white people. Sorry, excuse me. It's not so much that black people are trying to be white or act white. Black people are assimilating. That's what you're talking about. You're talking about assimilation. You're talking about the ability to drink the fucking crystal light and the ability to fucking speak the crystal light and to listen to the crystal light and to regurgitate the crystal light and to fucking indoctrinate yourself with the crystal light, with the crystal lights or the crystal white, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The crystal white actually makes more sense to me. But that shit is, again, a symptom of white supremacy. White people create the systems, and therefore people of color live within them. But again, I read something recently that was like really interesting to me about how, you know, Harriet Tubman was able to rescue people, even though like the United States was a scary ass, fucked up ass, fugazi ass place. You feel me? Like Harriet Tubman like led people to freedom more than one time, several fucking times. That's fucking amazing. So like the fact that there can be a Harriet Tubman when like shit was like looking real fucked up and bleak shows me that there can be a Harriet Tubman today. There can be a million Harriet Tubmans. There can be so many Harriet Tubmans, and that's what the fuck is the bomb about like being able to have these conversations and being able to talk, is the fact that like we can establish like that real shit is real. Adora, I agree with you. I think basic necessities should be free. If we have more, if water, food, basic ass clothing, like fashion is fucked up too. Like fashion is so fucked up because it really makes you believe that like if you're not wearing this certain cut this year, this time, what the fuck are you wearing? When clothing is fucking minute, it's a small ass detail. Granted, it's nice to look sickening, but the fact that like clothing, appearance, the lookism, the spectacle is so fucking intertwined and so fucking big that it becomes like this fucking overarching like cloud on everything. You know? Exactly. It's wage slavery, you know, and that's the thing. Back in the day, there was less, I don't want to say there was less taxes, but I want to say that there was less fucking war happening. There was less money going out of the country. There was like, you know, not only that, though, like the internet boom was really big. You know, the fact that people can make money online, the fact that there's like incomes like based on being on the internet is like a brand new thing too, and it kind of like eradicates a lot of need for things outside of the internet. However, you know, that doesn't mean that like, you know, people in this country should starve or people in this country shouldn't live. And I think like it's fucked up to think that like our system is like bankrupt or anything, because that's bullshit, you know. Like we have so much shit here. We definitely have money. Like the banks have money, you know. There's money here, and that's what fucks me up, is that there's like all this money going all these fucking places, and all these people. I feel you on having foreign sympathy. I feel you when shit pops off, and like if we can help, cool. But like, dude, like there are so many people on the streets in America fucking dying. So many dying every day. So many hungry every fucking day. And you know what else kills me? When people talk about welfare. Because you don't even know. You know how many white people I've seen on fucking welfare? You know how many white fucking straight people that were just like single, just like didn't want to fucking commit to a job. And I feel that shit. I feel that. But like it was more so, you know, I would see many white people on welfare, many white people on, you know, on food stamps and shit and getting government fucking help. And I'm not hating on that at all. I think if you need help from the government, even if you fucking don't, I don't really give a shit. But I just think it's interesting that, you know, it's always painted as like this black woman, you know, that needs it. When in reality, black women is the fucking biggest source of welfare this country ever motherfucking had. The United States was on welfare from black women. Get the fuck out of here. Well, black women were welfare. Get the fuck out of here. It kills me sometimes. It kills me sometimes, the shit that this country want to give away and then act like people of color are exploiting it. You know, it fucks me up so bad. Just to hear shit like that, just to hear that, like, oh, you know, welfare queen or any shit like that. Or even like people trying to accuse me of like being on welfare. Like, even if I was on welfare, bitch, what of it? You know, welfare, like, no shade, like, I looked into it. Welfare is not even really that much fucking money, no shade, especially if you're by yourself. Like, if you're a single person and you need the money, it is a lot of money. But it's not enough money to where I could see, like, someone's, like, really fucking balling and buying Cadillacs and shit like that. Because, truthfully, most of the people, even though they were white, that had EBT, they would be trying to get pizzas and shit with it. They try to get a slice of fucking pizza and shit for it. So, that's really what it is. Thank you, Game Elaf. Exactly. Zara Zula, exactly. Black alien, that disgusts me. But no, they I think, you know what, when I was listening to Yeezus, and I don't really talk about Kanye that much. I guess I kind of do. But I don't talk about Kanye that much. But when I was listening to Yeezus, I remember he said a line, doing clothes, I thought I'd have help, but nobody was interested unless I picked the cotton myself. And I feel that shit, you know, I feel him, you know, unless you doing everything, unless like you fucking doing everything from the top to the motherfucking bottom, white people don't fucking see you. They do not see you. They need to see that you've like done it from the root to the motherfucking Suda. No, and I completely agree with that. Yeah, no, there are more white people on welfare. That's exactly what I was trying to get at. And I do agree. I don't understand how we're sending foreign aid when, like, there's people here that, like, are starving. Like, do you know, like, in Michigan, like I think it was, like, 90% of the homes there are, like, boarded up. But, like, in a lot of those places, they have, like, these squatting laws where, like, you can't even just go into that house and, like, have, like, a place to lay your head down, which I think is fucked up, because I'm really, like, this summer, or rather this fall, like, I'm looking into, like, squatting, and trying to, like, restore some like, places in my, hometown so that I can, like, you know, try and figure out how to, like, put people in homes and also to have a place to live, you know, like, while I'm in New Orleans. Because I definitely want to, you know, test myself in terms of, like, being able to do a home repair, but also being able to, like, work in a community of people that, like, I want to be a part of. You know, I love New Orleans so much. I appreciate New Orleans so much. And I think it's, like, a wonderful ass place. Granted, I know shit be going down and be happening to me there, but I think that could happen anywhere. You know, I have unfortunate stories from all over the world. So, really, I'm not going to count New Orleans out just because of all the shit that's happened to me. But I'm definitely enjoying the idea, at least, of going down to New Orleans, like, really, like, helping myself out. No, and I agree. It's mad hard to take care of yourself on welfare. Like I have a friend, they were on welfare, and like they got sick one day, and like they were trying to buy some ginger root or some shit, and it was costing like $8 or something. I'm like, how the fuck are you trying to $8 for some fucking ginger root? But it was like we were living in a food desert, you know what I mean? We were living in a food desert, so you know, when you live in a food desert, which it's easy to if you don't live in like a very gentrified area of town, which basically means, like, if there ain't no white people around you, you probably not gonna get some good food. And I'll tell you, like, when I was in New Orleans, we was in an area where it was getting gentrified, and they had a co-op, and the co-op prices were fucking ridiculous. And it was like, damn, you know, we knew that, like, if we were hungry, we could go to the co-op and maybe, like, you know, sneak some food out of the bins. You know how they be having them bins full of, like, nuts and shit like that. Or we could, like, maybe, you know, I'm trying to think. Because I feel like I only took some chocolate-covered, like, cherries. I don't think I took anything else. Yeah, no, I never took nothing else. I believe in stealing. I think that, like, if you get hungry enough, bitch, do it. You know what I mean? Like, I was hungry enough once, I stole a coffee from a bitch. I didn't even care. I stole a fucking iced coffee. Like, that's my level of, like, sleight of hand. I was able to steal an iced coffee from somebody when I was like starving. I had no money. I was like stranded like at a fucking airport, and I was like, word. But see, and that's the thing, SSH. You know, I really fucking hate to fucking hear about shit like that, because like I grew up in a household where like my grandfather, my uncle, he was like so fucking sexist towards me. Like he would always like say really fucked up things to me, and he really said to me like, I wouldn't be surprised if like you had children when you were like 16. And at the time, he said, I wouldn't be surprised if you had kids soon. And I was like 16 years old. So I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And so like I purposely didn't have sex for like how long, because like I didn't want to like prove him right, and I didn't want like, you know, my life to be affected obviously by children. But mainly like I was like really like living my life out of revenge for my mean ass fucking horrible ass uncle, who like basically told me like I wouldn't be surprised if like, you know, you had no fucking control over your life, you know. Like it was just like really fucked up to me like that he would say something like that to me. It's true, white people do be acting like being on welfare is a luxury. However, I have seen white people be on welfare and also have like their own little side hustle, hookups, whatever. And I mean, on one hand, it's like, you know, word to you, but I think a lot of these like white kids out here that be using welfare be privileged as fuck. Like I know, like again, when I was in New Orleans this summer, it was like hella like white privileged ass people who were just rolling around New Orleans, acting broke, acting like they were dirty. They were fake dirty. And I was like, okay, whatever, you know, like, do you. But, you know, I was like, damn, you know, like, there were times where I was, like, hungry as fuck. I mean, granted, I went to the dumpster and, like, we would dumpster some good-ass food. But, like, there were definitely times where I was mad as fuck that these white people all around me could call their fucking parents. But yet they also had an EBT card where they could go down to, like, the local fucking little general store and get them that $2 slice. And I'm sitting over here, I couldn't even scrounge up money to get that $2 slice. So it was like, damn, you know, there were definitely nights where I definitely went to bed hungry several times in New Orleans, and it wasn't like the worst feeling. I think that sometimes like being hungry, and I don't want to trigger anybody because I know that some people might be triggered by this, because I realize that it is a privilege, you know, to not have to be hungry, or rather hunger wasn't a problem for me. But I definitely went to bed hungry, and it wasn't pleasant, but like I knew that I would be eating the next day, or I knew that like things would change sooner than later. But you know, when it's happening, it obviously fucking sucks and it's terrible. And you know, that's also a whole nother fucking topic. But yeah, that's the thing. I'm not gonna sit here and hate on people who have welfare. I just think it's interesting that there are a lot of privileged white people on welfare who definitely are not like in need of like government assistance, or rather they can ask for assistance from anyone, or they have a support system that is like extreme, and yet they're still like taking money from people who really fucking need it. You know, I definitely know a lot of like, you know, trans people of color who like definitely need fucking money, definitely find it hard to work, because like when you're a trans person and you're a person of color and you go for work, or if you're a genderqueer person, it's like people really like, people, if they cannot identify your gender, they really like go into like a tizzy from time to time, like, and they'll actually say some really fucked up shit, or they just flat out won't fucking hire you. That's just some real shit right there, you know? I know, like, for me, again, like, when I'm presenting as more masculine, I'm definitely like more aware of like what's going on around me. I feel extremely hyper visible. And I think I can't even imagine, like, I can't imagine having the courage to like, you know, be, more masculine in the workplace, you know. And I feel like that's like, again, that's another reason why being self-employed, or being someone that can be employed, you know, through other alternatives than the traditional 9 to 5 or 7 to 11 or what have you, is so imperative, because not everyone has the same like, you know, mental capacity or emotional capacity for like being around like a bunch of people, or rather being around people that like you have to interact with on like a level that might be more intimate than you're willing to consent to. And like I definitely know what it's like to work in an environment where like people just didn't fucking like you, you had no fucking choice but to hang out with them, or like be around them, or like they treated you like shit because of seniority. It's just like I'm not into that. The politics of like the workplace like were really hard on me, like all the places I've ever worked. So it's just like I can't. Oh my God, Emily, girl, go the fuck in. Child, can I tell you? So I had a friend growing up. Her name was, I'm not gonna say her name because I don't know if she's watching this shit because people are messy. But, but I was friends with this white girl, right? And child, why this bitch? She decided one day that she was just gonna start backpacking, and she was a fat bitch like myself. And you know, every once in a while, like this phenomenon happens where somebody that was like fat when I was younger will like lose a bunch of weight, and then a bunch of people will be like, "Oh my God, how'd you lose all this weight?" And then the person who has lost a bunch of weight will be like, "Oh my God, this is how I lost weight. Like I did da 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 da." And this bitch is talking about how she was going to carnivals and all this shit, and about how she was carrying a backpack, and then she found a dog, and then, you know, she was just like going all around the world, and it was seeming like really cool, like to watch, like via Facebook. But then the bitch got dreads and started putting a bunch of bones and shit in her dreads, and I was like, girl, you are making it so hard right now. And then she starts talking about, you know, all this shit about, you know, how she's going to this Rainbow Coalition, da, da, da. And she invites me to go traveling with her, but she tells me straight up that her mom is like paying for this like school bus that she's driving around the fucking South and shit. So she's like, it's not sustainable. Like my lifestyle's not sustainable. By the way, because I'm just like, are you like working on wolf farms? Like, what are you doing to like support yourself while you're out there? Like, because I'm trying to fucking like get like you, because this bitch was traveling everywhere. And like she's just telling me how her mom is just buying, is like her, like she's like, oh, every once in a while my mom will pay for a hotel like wherever I live so I can like go shower and like get some food or maybe some room service. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? You feel me? Crazy to me. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like I'm definitely like a piece of shit asshole who, like, when I was like not as poor as I was, definitely told my classmates that I wanted to see what it was like to be like living outside and sleeping like near, you know, a stream or something. And I definitely thought that it would be like an interesting account, and I totally didn't see how privileged I was to be able to say, oh wow, I wonder what it would be like to sleep outside. Because like the thing is, no one who's sleeping outside actually wants to sleep the fuck outside. Granted, people do like to go camping, but there's a difference between camping and being homeless. So with that, I just like that's like unpacking all this shit, you know, in myself. But I think that, you know, homeless white people, I don't think they're so much homeless as much as they're like marauders or whatever bullshit word they're trying to copulate now for white person fighting with parents, doesn't want to be home, owns Birkenstocks that are broken, or just like ratty ass fucked up ass shoes. You know, there's just so many fucking, there's like a checklist for like these motherfuckers. Wow. Wow. SSH. That's crazy. I think like, you know what, that's like unfortunate. That's like a fucked up part of like schooling, I think. Um I think like in like a lot of my classes, I remember just like in two classes in particular, like I had problems with like these two white dudes, and it sucked because like, you know, I just hated them because they were just assholes and they were like sexist as fuck, and they were constantly talking about women in like this really derogatory way. And I remember like every time we had like a drawing class, we'd always have like this like this like white woman come in that we had to draw, and I was like annoyed as fuck because I was just like, what the fuck, I don't want to be drawing these old ass white ladies, like no shade, but it's like we can't get no person of color. And there were people of color who were trying to get into the class, and like he wouldn't let them, and I was annoyed as fuck because I was just like, I would prefer to draw like a person of color's body than like this regular ass white lady who's like always fucking talking in the fucking class. Like I'm good. But like I started like clashing with them because like they were just not challenging me, and in turn I was like challenging them because I was just annoyed as fuck by them. But sometimes I want to go back to school, but only because I miss like being around discussion. But I think like the next time I try a school setting, I want it to be more inclusive of POC literature, but also of POC like studies, because like there's such an ignorance of POC related materials and theories that I definitely like I've been so like not aware of, that it makes me like, I think like there's like this ashamed feeling, but then like I have to remind myself that like this system is set up for me not to know, you know what I mean? The system is not set up for me to like find myself, to to see me. I'm not like supposed to. So like the fact that I can is like amazing and radical. And like you have to remind yourself of that shit. There are so many like little beautiful firework moments like and like figuring out like blackness and like oppression and, you know, politics in general, and, you know, just like really working on, you know, building up, as I said before, that visual diet. You know, what you see, what you read, what you consume visually, it says so much about you. And I think like I've been on a journey for so long just trying to see the good and see the positive and see the excellence in blackness, and it's definitely paying off. But again, that person who tried to come for me, it makes me just sad that like she thinks that like a blonde wig or some green contact lenses means anything in terms of my blackness, like has any fucking validity, or that like if I suck a white dick I can't fucking have anything to talk about in terms of white supremacy. It's just like, damn, you know, it just kills me. Fuck, because like that pigeonholes me, you know what I mean? That makes me out to be someone who cannot escape the one-dimensional woman of color trope that like you're giving me. You're telling me I can't be black power with a blonde wig on? Really? What about autonomy? You know what I mean? That's what fucks with me. Like, why can't I just be me? You know what I mean? And then them calling me a woman, saying that I'm unrecognizable as a woman of color. It's like, bitch, I'm not even a woman first. Skirt, you know what I mean? Like, shit, like, it just, like, it erases me in mad fucking ways, you know? It erases me because you know, as I said, there's a reason why that person said that I look white, because this is a signifier of white people's hair. This can't just be like a wig that I put on for fun, you know what I mean? It's like on a black body, shit be transforming. On a black body, shit don't translate. But on a white body, makes sense. All clear. There we go. You know what I mean? It's like that's white privilege right there. That's the essence of white privilege. The fact that a white woman could put this wig on and no one will bat a fucking eye. Let me put this fucking wig on and talk about white supremacy. Bitches are mad. Bitches are mad at these fake ass green eyes, bitch. Didn't I say that? Said they look good? You feel me? It's like, listen, you know, there's a difference between you calling me out and you fucking restating or reinforcing respectability politics. You know, that's the same shit that got Martin Luther King killed. People over here thinking that you could just put on a suit and talk to the white man and act like that nigga gonna see you. So I'm not gonna pretend like I can't wear this blonde wig and let niggas see me. I'm visible. You see me. Like, you know what, this wig don't stop me. And that's what I'm saying, like, I be talking about some real shit and niggas be trying to derail. They be like, oh, are you farting? Oh, your wig makes you look white. Oh, you wearing contacts, bitch? Why? You know what I mean? Like, I can't have fun. Blackness is me. I'm black. I'm black. Bitch, I can have fucking no hair on my head. I'm still black. I can have one fucking unicorn dreadlock leaning to the left. I'm still black. You feel me? I could be black doing any fucking thing. I'm black if I learn fucking Italian. I'm black if I'm eating fucking shrimp on a fucking boat in the middle of the fucking Hudson River, okay? I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. I'm fucking black. And that be making people mad. It makes people mad to see blackness in any other fucking scope than the little ass one that's been created by white supremacy. Whenever people of color start to bust out, they really think we busting out. Whenever people of color do anything that is seen as mainstream whiteness, that's when they want to fucking holler and jump and jive. But it's not that. Blackness is everything. Blackness is so much. Blackness is a motherfucking kaleidoscope full of shit. It's beautiful and magnificent and wonderful. And people just don't see it. People see blackness as some fucking singular ass, shiftless ass shit. And it sucks. It sucks to live within that fucking view. And I'm gonna say, as a light-skinned person, it sucks less for me than other people. Because dark-skinned people get seen as that singular scope. Oh, you dark-skinned? So you fall in line with all this shit. My light skin affords me the ability to maybe be something else. You feel me? And I realize that. That's a privilege of being a light-skinned person. That white people and people in power and shit like that, the oppressive race, can see you and say, you're not as bad as them because you're not as dark as them. But that's not true. Y'all not bad. Nobody's bad. Nobody's bad but the oppressors, Remind yourself. Remind yourself that shit. White supremacy will have you hate yourself. Will have you hate your motherfucking neighbor. Will have you hate your fucking mama. Will have you hate your fucking daddy. They'll make you hate niggas for nothing. They'll make you hate somebody black just because you think that they being niggerish or they not being like you need to be black in this society. And that's respectability politics. That's what the fuck this shit is fucking founded on. Making a nigga think that a nigga is a nigga is a nigga is a nigga, and that's a bad thing. That's not true. You don't gotta do shit to be black, and you ain't gotta be shit to and again, acting white, that's assimilation. That's assimilation, and that's also, again, respectability politics. Not letting blackness transcend like it has to be seen as equal. To not let blackness transcend, to not let blackness encompass all that it encompasses, is to sell blackness short. It's fucked up. It's fucked up when white people sell it short, but it's fucking makes me want to cringe when I hear people of color trying to tell me what the fuck is black, what the fuck is white, what the fuck is respectable, what the fuck is not, what's ratchet, what's ghetto. It's like, damn, you know, you can't do shit. Let a nigga be resourceful. That's ratchet. That's ghetto. That's bootleg. You know? So it's like, damn, you know, people of color can't do shit without, you know, white people weighing in on it or white people saying that they did it the fuck first. Even like I was talking about wigs or some shit like that, and somebody was like, oh, white people created weaves and stuff like that. I'm like, you know, white people created some busted ass fucking wigs back in the fucking day. True tea, true tea. But I refuse to believe that the lace front was made to look bomb on anybody else. You know what I mean? But people of color. God damn it, I'm kidding. I really don't know the fucking origins of lace fronts or things of that fucking nature. But I don't think I ever asserted that people of color created those things. I'm just saying that when people of color wear lace fronts and shit like that, I think what I was trying to say was when people of color wear lace fronts and shit like that, white people always gotta ask, is that our real hair? Because they want to fucking know. Because they need to know what the fuck a brown or black body is doing at all times when it is not following their idea of blackness. And that goes into respectability. When people of color's hair is like this, white people still want to know what the fuck kind of hair it is, but they're not gonna hate on you like they would if it was some other type of motherfucking texture or some shit. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. White people won't put their hands, let me not even say that, because I had a white person touch this type of wig, a little straight curly bullshit wig. I had somebody touch a wig that looked like a big ass afro. They can't help it. White people can't help it. White people will touch your fucking hair. And I'm not trying to condone that shit. That's fucked up. That's annoying as fuck. But it's like, it don't matter what you do. White people gonna still white. That's what I'm trying to say. It don't matter what the fuck you do. You know, remind yourself that you're black and stay the fuck black. But don't try to modify your shit because white people coming up behind you, white people looking at you. That shit don't even need to matter. And I agree. And I agree. We cannot help all the time. You know, nobody consents to abuse. Abuse does happen still, no matter if you consent to it or not. And that's what makes it fucking abuse 9 times out of 10, is the fact that you didn't fucking consent to it or you were unable to fucking consent to it. But with that said, you know, you have to look at shit like it really is and like not really, like I said, drink the crystal white, because it'll have you thinking that we all equal, race was like invented to like distract us. And while I agree that like race is a big ass distraction from like a lot of big shit that happens, it's not a distraction in the way that the white people will like make you think it is. White people think race is a distraction because white people don't think about race. White people don't think about that shit ever. When people of color talk about race, that's when white people think about race. White people do not have to think about it. They don't. It's default. You feel me? White is default. It is the motherfucking norm. It is the fucking norm. We are in a white supremacist society. Wake the fuck up. There's a reason why you see all these white people on fucking TV. There's a reason. There's a fucking reason. And watch, somebody white gonna go, oh, well, I watch BET, it was nothing but black commercials. Yeah, on one fucking station selling what kind of products, bitch? You feel me? White people get all kinds of products. All the products are for white people. All the white people in the world being all these commercials. But when it comes to black people, we get these certain products, and they always in the back of the fucking store, in the side of the store, way the fuck in the crevice of the store or some shit. Listen, miss me with that shit. As I said, fuck assimilation, fuck white people seeing you, fuck white people fucking dictating shit to you or telling you what the fuck your blackness is or what the fuck your blackness means, because it's not that. and you don't have to fucking keep playing into that. And you know, and I had a point earlier when I was talking about weaves and stuff like that. And even if a person of color is using weaves, you know, to kind of make themselves feel better or make themselves feel, you know, more, you know, attractive or whatever, we have to really look at that shit as it is. Lookism is real. You know, we do treat people based on how they look. You know, it would be stupid for me to sit here and say that, like, a lot of people that follow me aren't following me because from time to time I look sickening as fuck. You know what I mean? I mean, and I'm not trying to say that, like, y'all only chill with me and stuff because I'm cute, but I think that there are people here that are blatantly like, if you weren't attractive, like, I wouldn't fucking be listening to you, bitch. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay that, like, that's how some people feel. I'm not going to change that fucking person's mind, and I'm not going to fucking waste my energy trying to. But I'm definitely going to talk about how lookism is fucked up, and how lookism, again, favors light skin and white people, because those are the people we see when we think about attractiveness, or when we're shown what is attractive. Whenever we're shown the love interest, it's always light skin, it's always white skin, it's always somebody who's like ambiguously you know, an ambiguously, racially ambiguous person. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and try to shade people who don't feel attractive enough or don't feel like they can, you know, assimilate in a way in this society to where they can feel safe, one, or two, desirable, because that's some real shit, you know, like wanting people to like look at you, give you attention, that's real, you know, that like everyone feels that to some degree, you know. And I think that it's important to talk about that shit, because like when we don't, it becomes so black and white. It becomes so like ugly and not ugly, and then what is ugly and what is beauty privilege and what does that mean? And it really, again, and then it's, you know, white supremacy is involved in that as well. So it's about unpacking like a lot of shit. So, you know, work is never done talking, and that's the best part about it, is we can always talk. You know, there can always be counsel. So I appreciate all of y'all for, you know, coming to talk with me and hang out. I'm gonna cut this a little bit short, or rather shorter than last time, because I really don't want to have that stupid ass watermark. But I'm gonna upload this video to YouTube, and yeah, it'll be there. So we'll talk soon, okay? Love you guys.